Alright, g'day again everybody. So sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I've just been busy working. I've been a bit sick for the last week, so I figured we'd take a quick tour around today and see what's going on. So there's not really much going on in there. This little broccoli is doing okay, I suppose. And little cabbages are starting to form heads and stuff, but not much going on over here. I have to finish mowing. The sweet potatoes have survived through winter. I do have more that I've just been keeping alive in a glass of water. So I'll try and plant those out. These potatoes look to be dying off a little bit, so I'll have to check and see when I planted those, and they might have to come up soon, but I'm just going to leave them for now. Blueberries are doing really well. So these ones here are really nice. It's probably not quite right, but that's good. I've still got to go through and repot all the strawberries actually, but I will deal with that. I sort of have just been working every other day. I'm not really sure of my schedule, but I do know what I'm doing now, so I do know when I'm working. So I really need to pot up these strasberries. They're starting to flower in these tiny little pots, so I'll have to get onto that tomorrow. So this stevia is doing really well. So it overwintered from last year, but you can just see how thick that is. So I'm going to cut some of those off and take some cuttings. This bed here is doing really well. I've been picking at this cos lettuce. The cauliflower is doing good. We have carrots in the middle, they're doing pretty good. They might be a bit shaded out, but I'm not too worried about it. And this purple spreading broccoli at the back's getting kind of big too, so that's good. And got lots of these little strawberries already coming on, but I do need to get and pull all the grass out of there again. And no. So not much going on in here. The sage is starting to flower, so that's good. I've got a few baby carrots in there and a little spinach and collard. This is actually one of these black cumin plants, so I have to wait for those to flower. Chives are flowering, a bit of garlic there. And I could probably take some of these leeks out and transplant them. So all the potatoes that I planted down this side here have come up, more or less all of them. I'm still waiting on one or two, but I'll have to put down some more grass clippings when I mow, just because you can see how much that's dried out and how much it's sunk down. And so we have the cassava starting to sprout. At least this one down here is. I have 3 more up the back, and I think one of those is starting to sprout at least, but that's good. So this is one of the boysenberries that I planted. You can see it's doing really well. So one of the biggest problems I have growing raspberries and when I was trying to grow blackberries was that I just didn't keep them watered well enough. So I'm hoping having them in the ground will help. But you can see it's already sending up new shoots there. So that's good. So we got some coriander, which has started to flower. As you can see, it gets huge when it does that. It's usually about this tall. And I've got a bunch of garlic. Now the garlic is ready to be picked. I'm just waiting till tomorrow because it rained a couple of days ago and I don't want to pull it all out while the ground's still too wet. But it looks like we should have a few decent ones in there at least. So I'll definitely do a video on that. Plus more baby carrots down the middle of the rows there. They're still doing alright. And a couple more purple sprouting broccolis in here, and I think this is a cauliflower. You can see some of them are getting absolutely wrecked by the bugs. And I did think this was a cauliflower, but I think it might be a cabbage. It's starting to look that way. So the little strawberry patch is doing okay. There's a few strawberries in there starting to flower, but I really need to get back in and weed it out again. But this boysenberry that I planted, it's also sending up new shoots over here as well, so that's good. And plus that there. So I still have 2 more in little pots, but I'll be putting those out as soon as I can find somewhere for them. So I've still got the potatoes and stuff going up here. I did see a couple of potato ladybugs eating it the other day, so I really do need to come out more often and check. Still waiting on the galangal to come up. So it's a bit hard to see, but right here are all my onion seedlings. So here's a row. So I really need to come in and pull all of those up and transplant them somewhere else where they're going to get a bit more light, where I can take care of the weeds a bit easier. But there are 4 rows of them in here somewhere. So you can see these ones are doing really well, but they just need to come out of there ASAP, so I'll do that tomorrow as well. A couple of volunteer potatoes. I had all my shallots here. I did actually have a couple of these go to put on a flower head, so I just cut that off. Right, so I have a few shallots here that have actually started to grow flower heads, and that means they're going to produce seeds at some point, which I don't really want because it will take energy away from the bulbs. So what I like to do is just come along and snip that flower head off, and that'll just stop it from forming a flower and forming any seeds. That easy. More onions, more garlic, but this lot of garlic went in a month after the other lot, just to see if that would do any better, so I'll leave that for another month before I pull it up. Just a little patch of turnips. I actually got a couple of nice turnips that I had transplanted out of my raised bed last night. And these are my perennial leeks, so you can see this one here is at least put on one side shoot, so that's good. Oh yeah, and this one here as well. So those are doing really well. I do need to get in and weed this patch again. But yeah, I just haven't really been out here much for the last week or so, so I really haven't been a bit slack. So we got lots of peas flowering at the moment. So there's a row there, and there's a couple of rows here. Yep, you can see some of them are starting to grow. So all of these are just shelling peas, so they've still got a while to go before I'll be picking those. So we got some spinach and collards up here. These cabbages are looking really good. They're starting to form heads. So we'll give those a little while longer. But yeah, the green ones always seem to do better than the red ones for some reason. But yeah, even so, they're looking pretty good. More green onions. And just more lettuce, more cabbages, stuff like that. So as far as this cassava goes, there are a few little sprouts on 1 or 2 of them. I did put down this cardboard just to mulch, but I noticed if you try and pull it out of the ground, it's not moving, which means it's put down roots, they've grabbed onto the soil, and it's set, it's good to go. So those should start growing soon. I imagine the only reason that other one started first is because it gets a bit more light where it is. So here and here I just planted some more yacon. So you can just see that starting to come up. I also have a couple of little rhizomes that I put in some pots and they've started to come up too, so I might just give those away because I don't think I have much more room for any more big plants like cassava or yacon. I just put them up here, hopefully they'll not be in my way. Alright, so I also just remembered that I have this big patch of beetroots that I need to come and pull out. But as you can see, it's hard to tell where the beetroots start and where the beetroots end and the weeds begin. But I did notice there is one here that's actually gone to seed. So you can see how the leaves are growing out of the stem. Usually, if it hasn't gone to seed, most plants will just grow all the leaves from the base of the plant like that. So I'll come through and I'll pull all those up tomorrow when I'm doing the garlic tour, I guess. Alright, well, thanks for watching. That's pretty much all I have for you today. But yeah, do stay tuned because I do intend to pull that garlic out and I'll make a video out of that. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.